A woman missing from Van Buren County has been found and is safe this morning. Chelsea Richards had been missing since last Sunday when she walked away from her adult foster care home. This morning, the Sheriff's Department says Richards met with her case manager, is unharmed and in good health. They don't know, however, where she went when she was missing. Richards has now been placed in a different facility. All right, as we wrap it up, let's go 2-on-0 break here. K-Wings open the season tomorrow night at Wing Stadium against Evansville. And tonight is the spooky skate. Oh! How about a little Theo flurry for everybody there? We'll have more on the spooky skate and some history with the K-Wings guys coming up in our 8 o'clock hour.
Doty, did you score?
You didn't see it go in the net?
No, they threw a graphic up.
Do it again.
Yeah, here we go. Rip it.
Yeah.
Woo!
That's how it's done.
There you go.
There is new evidence that Asian carp are able to reproduce in the Great Lakes, which could threaten aquatic vegetation and the ecosystem. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, 4 grass carp were caught in Ohio's Sandusky River. Grass carp are vegetarians. They eat aquatic plants, and they're not as destructive as bighead or silver carp that we've grown used to seeing jumping from the water and into boats. But this new finding is significant because big-headed carp, after they spawn, their young are very similar to grass carp, which means the destructive invasive species could likely survive in the Great Lakes. A step forward for the medical programs at Grand Valley State University as a proposal to buy land in downtown Grand Rapids has been approved. The school's Board of Trustees approved a plan to buy 11 acres on the city's so-called medical mile. The land will be used to expand classrooms and labs for students. GVSU already owns 4 acres of property adjacent to its Cook DeVos Center for Health Sciences. That's at Michigan and Lafayette. The school tells Fox 17 that tuition for medical students will not be raised and the expansion won't cost more than $19 million. They plan to break ground in the next couple of years. Well, there's a lot of people getting up and didn't sleep a lot because of that wind. I had to hold my toupee down this morning when I came in.
Extra tape today?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a 2 taper day.
Thank you, Kevin. Grand Rapids police are looking into a shooting early this morning. The incident happened at the Chicken Coop restaurant on Division and Hall. Police say there was a fight. One man ended up shot in the leg. He was taken to the hospital and, according to police, is in critical condition this morning. GRPD is still looking for a suspect, but have not given a description at this time. Also new this morning, a man had to be taken to the hospital after being hit by a car in Caledonia. Allegan County Sheriff's deputies tell us just before 12:30, a man in his 20s was hit by a car while he was walking in the road on 2nd Street, just south of 108th. When first responders got to the scene, the man was unconscious. He was taken to the hospital with head trauma and road rash. It's been a long time coming for people in Muskegon County. Fox 17's Tim Swore is live in studio with more on the planned demolition of the Sappy paper mill in just a few hours. Tim, it's an eyesore at this point.
It is, and it's going to provide a better view. And
would you recommend, even if the pet is not in costume, it's still kind of iffy to take them out because they're going to be running into all kinds of different people, different smells, things like that. That could also be a problem, even when you don't intend it to be anything special.
You're absolutely right. Please leave them at home.
It's tremendous for sure.
Did you ever think when you were a kid growing up, I'm sure you dreamed, being a Toronto kid, of playing pro hockey, but did you think you would end up making it your living realistically and end up coaching?
You know, I don't know if I ever felt I was going to be coaching until later on in my pro career.
And Sarah, Danielle Skolton-Linderman had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. Friends say she worked at Drake's Place in Greenville. Yesterday, around 6:30 a.m., she was found dead. Now, her boyfriend is in jail and is expected to face charges in her death. Skolton-Linderman's body was found at a home near Lincoln Lake Road and 17 Mile in Spencer Township. That's northern Kenton County. She and boyfriend Scott Hammer were staying there with family while their house in Montcalm County was being renovated. Hammer was arrested yesterday at that house, which, as you can see, had burned down. Law enforcement say it was him that set the fire. Details are not fully known yet, but at this point it appears there was some kind of argument between the two that escalated and ended up with the mother of 2 dead.
I took my wife to work about 7:15, and this road was nothing but fire trucks with the smoke and the flame. So I figured it was Scott when we rounded the corner, and he didn't seem like the type.
Hammer is currently being held in the Kent County Jail. The possible arson of that farmhouse is being handled by Montcalm County as well as the state fire marshal. Stay with Fox 17 News later today for updates on this story. Live in the studio, Tim Doty, Fox 17 News. Grand Rapids police are still looking for a suspect this morning after shots were fired on the city's northwest side. According to GRPD, just before 2 this morning, a 15 or 16-year-old boy fired shots at a house in the 800 block of 4th Street Northwest and then took off. The last description they had on the suspect was a white male wearing a red hoodie with a white mask and cap on. If you have any information on this, you are asked to give Grand Rapids Police a call at the number on your screen.
All work towards the same message, which is making the right choices.
Did you notice when you both talked, they all got real quiet back here? It's okay, you can breathe. And you said you got a chance because you're a junior and you're a freshman, and this has given you a chance being in this group to meet kids that even though you go to school together, you might not really know.
Absolutely. Like most of the time, like my freshman and sophomore year, I just kind of thought, clubs aren't really for me. It's not what I do.
Mike, it wasn't a whole lot of people. The numbers actually are hard to believe. According to documents posted online by the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, 6 people enrolled into the federal health care exchange by the morning of October 2nd. This information appears to come from notes taken at a so-called war room meeting between White House officials and the contractors who were working on the website rollout. A second meeting later in that day on the 2nd showed the number had risen to about 100 people, and the following day, October 3rd, it was up to 248. That's for the entire country. A spokesperson for the Department of Health and Human Services says the numbers are not official and added that just because things started slowly, it doesn't mean the enrollment numbers won't be healthy at the December 15th deadline. HHS Secretary Kathleen Sebelius testified in front of that House committee on Wednesday. She will do the same in the Senate in early November and then go back to meet with the House again in December. Live in the studio, Tim Doty, Fox 17 News. New details this morning in the death of a Wayne State University student. Just days after her body was found near an abandoned plant in Detroit, 2 men have been charged in connection with her death. Right now, police are holding the men on vehicle theft and stolen property charges. They've not been charged in Tayon Brown's murder. Investigators think the men came upon her body in her car earlier this week, stole items, but didn't tell police about the body. Brown was a law student at Wayne State and was first reported missing on Monday night by her parents. Police say she was found shot in the head with her seatbelt still on. They're looking for a motive now in the case. Well, in lighter news, we all know about that Cup of Joe working on the morning show.
Yes, we do. And one coffee shop in Grand Rapids just brought home some top-notch honors.
All right, troubling news out there for wine lovers. The industry is experiencing an undersupply of nearly 300 million cases a year, or as you call it, Thursday. Are typical coolers doing that bad a job that we need to spend $230 on a cooler?
I'm just going to throw it out there. I could come up with 5 things way better than that I've seen.
A good parking pass always helps.
Yes.
Yes.
See, I'll stop by somebody else's tailgate,
Yes.
but I want to go to the game. I'm not big on the tailgating.
No?
You're
You're not really a, let's hang out and talk.
That's probably more of our thing.
Here's the thing about because somebody could make the best food ever, but then you're balancing it on your knees and trying to eat it while leaning against.
Yeah.
They didn't have that at the tailgates back in 1954 when I was in college.
My life.
But you are trained in this. You do this for a living. How can you do it without scaring away the average person?
Well, it's not about the improv workshops are not about getting up on stage and making other people laugh. It's all about participation.